So you've heard of manifestation, about how it can make all your dreams come true, it can completely change your reality and make you become the best version of yourself and finally achieve your goals. But how can you actually make sure that it works for you? I'm here to tell you that this year I manifested my dream dissertation grade. I got an upper first class, but there have also been other times where I have manifested other things and not received them. In this video, I'm going to do a very quick overview of manifesting, how I believe I manifested my dissertation grade, and also mistakes I've made which mean I haven't managed to successfully manifest other things. So firstly, what actually is manifestation? In short, it basically is the act of making your dreams and your goals come true, making them a reality. To do this, you focus your energy and raise your vibrations to attract better opportunities. You focus your energy and thoughts to be aligned with your manifestations. Manifestation has many different forms. It can be anything from writing a letter to your future self, a paycheck to your future self, scripting. So it sounds pretty ideal. You can just write down and all your dreams will come true, right? But there's a bit more to it than that. I'm going to do a very quick overview of the law of attraction. So the law of attraction, what does this mean? You should view your body as a magnet. You want to attract positive energies and repel negative energy. Through this, you can make sure that you focus on attracting positive energy like great opportunities so that you can achieve your goals. When discussing manifestation, you might have also heard about frequencies, vibrations, all these different words. In short, everything in the universe vibrates at a certain frequency. Your energies vibrate at a certain frequency. If you align your thoughts to raise your vibrations, to make sure that your energy is more positive, you then attract other things that vibrate at the same frequency. This relates directly to the law of attraction. You can alter your vibrations by focusing your energy and thoughts to attract something specific. If you raise your vibrations to be positive, you attract positive things. In short, manifestation is attracting certain things, and to do that, you raise your frequencies so that your energies attract other things that vibrate at the same frequency. If you want to know more detail, then I would recommend this book. Enough about energy, vibrations, frequencies. How do you actually manifest? So as I said before, there are so many different ways that you can manifest. It really is trial and error, just trying out different things, see what you enjoy firstly, because you want to make it a fun process, and also what you feel works for you. That might take more time to figure out what you feel like actually works for you, because you can't expect immediate results for manifestation. I would suggest the first step to manifestation should be visualization. You need to firstly decide what you actually want to manifest. Is that you want to buy your dream home, you want to have a dream job, achieve certain university grades like all A stars? You need to decide firstly what it is you want to manifest. You need to focus on the details and be specific. You cannot just write down, I am successful or I want to be successful. What does successful mean? Successful is incredibly subjective. Success for one person might mean being able to retire in their 30s. For another person, successful might mean that they're the CEO of a company or having a family. There are so many different definitions of successful, for example. And so make sure when you're manifesting, you actually specify what it is you want in detail. So success might mean that you want to have your dream job, which might be working at a law firm. What job title does that have? Are you an associate or a partner? What's your salary? Write down the specific figure. Where's the location of the office? Is it in London, New York? What kind of outfits do you wear to work? Do you have your own office? The more you think about it in detail, the more you can actually imagine it becoming true, because you kind of fit together different details. Even things like, how do you get to work? Where do you live? What do you do on your lunch break? Who do you speak to? The more detail you put into your manifestation, the more likely it is to come true. And then once you've decided what you want to manifest, you have to then put in the hard work to make it come true. You can't just write down that you want to achieve all A stars in your A levels and just expect to be handed that on results day. You have to actually put in the hours and study, have patience, discipline. You need to work with the universe. You can't ask it for something and then do nothing to make it happen. So if you want all A stars in your A levels, make a study timetable, go to your tutors and ask for them to mark an essay for you, do past papers, try and increase the amount that you study. You need to put in work if you want your manifestations to come true. And as well as you putting in the work, you need to trust the process. It's not going to happen overnight, especially because a lot of manifestations are things that are quite long term. So be patient. Whatever you're manifesting, make sure you do it properly from the start, because that then gives the universe the opportunity to actually put it into motion for you. So make sure you're patient and you remain positive. And so what does manifestation actually look like? How can you manifest? One of the most common ways to manifest, I think, is probably writing down, journaling, or scripting it's called. One thing to note is that you should write from the point of view that you already have the thing that you're wanting. So if you're wanting your dream career, you write from the point of view that you already have it. Not that I will be a doctor when I'm older, I am a doctor now. Make sure you're writing from the right point of view. If you're enjoying this video so far, don't forget to subscribe. So I mentioned earlier that there are different ways to manifest. One of the most common ways is scripting, which is basically writing down in detail something that you have. So if you're manifesting that you want to be a successful actor when you're older, you might write down you've been in a specific number of movies, the location, maybe the genre of the movie, or if it's a series. Give as many details as possible, but make sure it's brief, because the whole point of manifesting is that you repeat that and you write it a few times. There are different ways you can be creative when manifesting. One of my favorite ways is called the pillow method, and you basically write on a piece of paper what it is you're trying to manifest. And again, be specific. Focus only on one thing you're trying to manifest, and then you keep that under your pillow. Every morning when you wake up, you read over that, and before you go to bed, you read it. It just means that you're kind of training your subconscious mind so that the first thing you read when you wake up, you're thinking about your goal, and you're more likely to attract the thing. And then again, when you read it before you go to bed, it's really nice because you're going to sleep and you're thinking about this goal. I want to talk in a little bit more detail about how I manifest. I like to focus a little bit broadly than just the process of manifestation itself, and to make the environment a bit more inviting. So I normally manifest on an evening as a part of my night routine just before I go to bed. It's honestly quite motivational. When you're doing a degree and you're thinking about your goal, you're reminding yourself why you're studying so hard, studying for 12 hours a day. Firstly, not essential at all, but I have a few crystals that I use when I manifest. They all do different things. I normally just buy the ones that either look pretty or kind of feel nice. I also try to listen to positive affirmations when I'm getting ready or winding down for bed or cleaning. Again, that's not manifesting itself, but it's part of the process of raising your frequencies to be more positive. Finally, to help with the process of visualization, you can create a vision board. This doesn't have to be a physical thing. It can just simply be on Pinterest. It's a lot easier to do on Pinterest. You can literally just make something called vision board and just spend even like 5 minutes a day instead of scrolling. Just go on your vision board and remind yourself of your goals. Especially now we're going towards autumn winter time, so now would be a good time for you to maybe consider looking at your vision board or making one in time for Christmas. Figure out your goals, and then you can align your manifestations with those goals. A physical vision board is probably ideal though, especially if you're a student or if you're working from home or something. You can have like a big cork board, put loads of photos on it, quotes, anything that resembles your dream life that you're trying to manifest, and then it's a physical reminder. It's there, you can look at it without having to go on your phone, so that probably would be a bit better. And then all of these things together, a vision board, affirmations, frequencies, crystals, they all boost your overall mood. They raise your vibrations and they supplement your manifestation. And in terms of what I would actually do when manifesting, the majority of the time I did do scripting. I would write down before bed. I used a specific notebook. It was this one. It has really pretty gold paper. So this was my manifestation notebook. I had a specific one just because when I saw it, my brain knew that this was my manifestation journal. I found it really helpful to have a separate one to my normal academic diary, plus it feels a bit special. But I also tried some other methods, like the pillow method I found quite fun, or sometimes I would sort of visualize what it would feel like opening my results and having that grade, my reaction to it. It's just a stronger manifestation to tell the universe that you're open to receiving that specific goal. So that's how I manifest. I like to keep it very simple. I know some methods say that you should script a certain number of times. I personally did not have time to write down the same sentence 50 times every night. I normally just felt like writing it about 5 times. Do what's best for you, but also be realistic. Sometimes it's actually more productive if you manifest something and write it down a couple times and then spend the other time actually studying rather than spending half an hour writing it down, but you could have been studying in that time to get your grade, if that makes sense. So how can you start manifesting if you're completely new to it, you've never done it before? My honest advice is just write anything. Just write anything. It does not have to be perfect. If you're scripting, you might write out a sentence and then you might change the details of it. You might write a bit more one day, a bit less another. It doesn't have to be the exact same thing. It can change. Just write anything into a notebook and get into the habit of it. If you really want to motivate yourself, buy yourself a cute notebook. TK Maxx do so many nice ones. And like I said, it tells your brain it's time to manifest and think about your goals. I also wanted to go over some mistakes to avoid when manifesting. And I think the most important one is avoid being unrealistic. And what I mean by that is you have to put in the work to achieve the goals. So what I said earlier, if you're manifesting 4 A stars in your A levels, but you never study or you don't do your homework without a specific reason why, then you can't expect to get 4 stars at A level if you're not actually trying to get the 4 A stars in the nicest way possible. So make sure whatever you're working towards, I know it might be hard, it might not be obvious, you should be more open to opportunities if you want a dream job, and trusting the process that it's not always going to be obvious how the universe works. It works in mysterious ways. Like I said earlier, avoid being unspecific. You should write down exactly what you want. You can't just say I want success or I want to be wealthy. You need to be specific in what that actually means for you. A mistake that I made, I think, was maybe trying to manifest too much at once. Try to really align your manifestations. Try maybe focusing on a couple things, because then you can successfully achieve a couple things rather than trying to manifest 8 to 10 different things and just not getting anywhere with them. Because like I said, you need to put in the hard work yourself to achieve them, and that's going to be very hard if you're trying to achieve 10 different things. I hope you enjoyed this video on manifestation. can and what you can do to start manifesting today. Comment this emoji if you watched all the way to the end. I hope you enjoyed this video and enjoy your day. Bye.